I look at the finance system, and I think one of the things you've been talking about as well is if they're going to build, there's an obvious choice for them, which is going to be Ethereum. Ethereum has the native yield, and it is the kind of IBM or Microsoft of the space. I think people are underestimating how fast finance is going to come because they've all been working on it. And it's a very likely an Ethereum ecosystem thing overall.
As the regulatory landscape evolves, Ethereum is poised to spearhead the next major crypto rally. This bold prediction comes from Raoul, CEO of Real Vision and a seasoned macro analyst. While the financial sector awaits a definitive regulatory framework, foundational progress is already underway. Behind the scenes, major institutions and Web 2 powerhouses are quietly preparing their next big move into blockchain technology. In a recent discussion with Dan Tapiero, Powell highlighted Ethereum as the standout platform for this shift. Its robust yield mechanisms and proven scalability make it the leading candidate for institutional adoption, akin to Microsoft's dominance in the software world. Ethereum's existing infrastructure and flexibility position it as the backbone of future financial innovations. Don't miss the end of the interview, where Powell and Tapiero share their insights on the market's direction. Also, if you enjoy listening to crypto-related content, please show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel by following the link in my bio. And get access to my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox. Each newsletter contains market intelligence, on-chain data and latest updates from experts in the crypto space. All of this is available completely free of charge. Signing up only takes a moment and you can always change your mind later on. Now back over to Raoul and Dan.
My general view is I hate the conservative numbers, and I think it's always good to anchor yourselves on those, particularly when you're building a business. I think for me, the base case, the base case is kind of 250. So 150 low side, 250 normal, 450 blow off 2017 cycle.
By the end of 25?
Yeah. So,
yeah,
don't forget, I was 2017.
Yeah.
I sold out at 2000 just before that, the usual tax season where it falls in like March, April, May, June, right? I sold out 2000. It went up 10x in 4 months at the end of the year. 10x.
Yeah, but those are smaller numbers. We can't go up 10x.
No, but that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. Listen, it's possible to go up 3x in the last part of the cycle if we get a very strong cycle. That's all I'm saying is that I think that tail is because people have so much PTSD. I think it's underpriced. I'm not saying it's my base case,
but you know how much value will be added to the digital asset.
I think your number of 10 trillion is. Yeah, I think 10 trillion is underestimating it for this cycle. I think it's close to 12, 13, something like that this cycle. Yeah. I think your whole 10T idea is going to sound hilariously outdated very soon.
It brings me right back to the beginning. The first thing we discussed, you can tell where somebody entered the space because 10T will be a joke. It wasn't when it was 300 billion in 2019. 30x, people were like, they're nuts, there's no way. But yeah, I think 10 will be too small by far, right?
Yeah, way too. I mean, I think within 10 years, if I just follow the log regression channel of market cap, or use a Bitcoin version and impute something out of it, I get to 100 trillion by 2034. Now that makes sense because all other assets are 100, 200, 300 trillion. A lot of assets are going on to this. Going to be a lot of activity. I don't think that's wildly wrong. That kind of suggests we're only 3% there because it's 3 trillion today. It's
what was that first call you had? Did you call for Bitcoin? What was that very first one in that article?
So I said, I think it's worth $1 million. It's worth 700 ounces of gold at the time.
What year was that?
That was 2013.
Okay,
and I said, I'm going to discount myself by 90% because this sounds stupid to call for $1 million Bitcoin when it's 200. So I'm going to say 100 grand. So we hit my original target from 11 years ago. And I still think we'll hit the other target, which is now 700 ounces of gold is now $2 and a bit million. So I do think somewhere, and that was a bad math calculation, random numbers based on stock to flow, but it kind of feels about right.
Yeah. I wonder, it's interesting because we're talking about these big numbers. And of course, you've got Michael Saylor out there who's, sucked a lot of air out of the room. Rightfully so. I think he's been incredible for the space. But I haven't sort of sensed as much enthusiasm yet as in previous cycles, right? Like, I don't feel somehow, I don't know, maybe it's because some of these altcoins, etc., are still down 90%. If you look at some of them, not Ripple, which is now exploded, but, some of these.
Yeah, we just started to sit in the last 2 weeks where things are doing 50% in a day. That's what brings in retail. And I know from my WhatsApp messages that people are coming back, but I'm only getting back last cycle people and not new cycle people yet.
Right. So we're not above where we were in 21 in terms of emotion and this and that.
No.
I mean, it's very, I mean, if you're new to this space, you might think, oh, it's crazy. It's this, it's that. It feels very tempered. People feel like, I feel like ho hum. Someone told me we have some companies where the founders have been in the companies they founded 7, 8, 9 years ago, and they are really tired.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for news and expert predictions direct to your inbox.